Buddy, I'm Gogito, and I'm bringing you guys the next reaction video of the Ultra Vegito Saga. And this is Ultra Vegito kills Belmod. So yeah.
Himself.
Okay, let's there. It might take some time.
Still in deadlock with Vegito's
There.
own giant MUI silhouette. Vegito
Also, if you hear chewing, it's because I'm eating right now, so yeah. So let's just go with the reaction.
Jiren, how could you? Why? Because he wanted to be the one to finish you for good, God Killer. As suddenly behind Vegito and Jiren, a familiar looking backside appears replying to Vegito. And it is revealed to be none other than the former god of destruction, Belmod, looking on menacingly with his hands relaxed on his hips as he continues. Greetings, Vegito. I see you haven't changed one bit since murdering Beerus. Here to now slaughter even your friend Jiren? Haha, you truly are heartless, aren't you, Saiyan?
Shut your bitches up, Belmod.
Immediately causing Vegito to turn around in shock as he continues once his eyes meet with Belmod's. So, you finally turn up, clown. How? How could a monster like you even convince Jiren to become one of you? The Jiren I knew was on the side of justice, not the side of pure evil. Evil? How dare you?
Shut up, Belmod. You know what you did.
God to change expression to a scowl as he responds, "Us evil? Ironic to come from one such as you, who has indiscriminately killed so many. Gods, angels, even innocent children. Save your breath, as Jiren
He
has
was
seen
forced
it
to do
all.
that. He didn't have a
My
choice.
angel used her powers to give him the complete rundown.
That's a
He
lie.
knows exactly what you have done and what you truly are, demon. Your motives,
Not exactly.
your victims, and your abilities. And just like any sane person with a heart, he decided your death is the only true path of justice. The only true evil here is you.
Yeah.
Jiren knows everything.
No,
And still, there's no way.
because
Leaving
it's true,
Vegito
Joe.
stunned
He does
as
not
he
know
for the
full
first
truth.
time discovers that Jiren, even with knowing the injustices Vegito had faced, still decided to become one of the very people that without care annihilated his entire planet. With a forlorn and completely dejected look, the Saiyan begins looking to the ground in deep thought, starting to question even himself whether what he was doing is the right thing. If even Jiren, a being with the greatest of moral compasses, sees him as the enemy. Jiren, he knows what the gods did.
Not fully.
The people they killed. My friends. My family. All for the sake of a battle that I didn't even want. And I'm still in the wrong? Did those gods not deserve the same fate? Jiren, why? What have I done? And as Vegito's self-doubt and questioning of his morality increases, in almost a direct correlation, the MUI aura that made up his giant version of himself begins to slowly dissipate to nothing, just like his motives. As the still now seemingly saddened Vegito descends to the ground, still wondering, what have I become? And soon, Vegito's aura completely vanishes, and he just falls slowly in mental defeat, landing on the ground with a thud, and noticeably still silent, not uttering a word. Could it be finally that now faced with having to kill even Jiren, he's realized his revenge story was in the wrong the entire time. But the battle-hardened Jiren, seeing this, is not impressed in the slightest, annoyed even, as he wonders, what is he doing? Son Goku, have you given up already? This is not a game. You will die by my hand if you do not put up a fight. But Vegito, regardless of Jiren's words, just maintains his silence, still battling with himself internally about what he should do now. Are you listening to me, Son Goku? But Jiren, who had dreamt of this moment to fight Goku again at his best for all these years, begins to get extremely angry at Vegito's peaceful stance, continuing, "Fine, if you refuse to talk, then there will be no mercy. For the gods and angels before me you killed, I will put an end to you now!" Leading to Jiren following through just as he said, as Jiren's giant apparition pulls back with extreme force, gritting its own teeth as if it too wanted Vegito gone. All the while, Vegito remains motionless on the ground like an ant, as if finally having accepted his punishment for his crimes and ready, waiting for his death sentence. And just like that, in most likely the most powerful punch we'd seen in the entire series, Jiren's giant fist rocks the very surface of the planet as a huge earth-shattering explosion is seen in its wake. And eventually, as the smoke and debris from the attack leaves, under Jiren's fist, we see the tragic sight of crimson, red blood seep from underneath his knuckles, indicating in this instance there was no escape for Jiren's target. And Jiren too, looking down and noticing this, then comments, "So he really meant to quit. Pathetic, Son Goku. I expected so much more from you." And with Ultra Vegito finally defeated and the threat to all the gods of the multiverse now over, Jiren just looks down solemnly as his giant apparition lowers its arms too. Jiren, now forlorn, then says his final words to the Saiyan, letting out, "Son Goku, after defeating you in battle here, I had hoped to hear your side to this story, to find out just what would drive you to do the unthinkable, to kill the righteous and pure gods that ruled over us for so long without disturbance. But your silence in the face of Belmod and surrender said it all. Inside, I think you too finally knew that your punishment was well deserved.
Maybe.
Goodbye, fallen warrior." But as Jiren says his goodbye, in the distance something stirs. Something with a power level Jiren had never experienced before. What is this? And instantly, like a shooting star, a burning ball of energy traveling at inconceivable speeds strikes head on at the god of destruction, engulfing his entire body. The impact so great that not just is Jiren left helpless to do anything about it, but the pain it inflicts even causes the hardened Pride Trooper to scream in agony as saliva gushes out. And at once, as we zoom out the scene, we see the attack shoots Jiren right through his giant apparition towards the ground, as even the giant himself looks nothing short of stunned at what's happening, like it had been shot by a sniper. Immediately leading to a monstrous impact on the ground, rivaling that of Jiren's earlier punch, causing rocks and particulate to fly everywhere. And as we look on with a bird's eye view at Jiren and whatever hit him, all we can see is a cloak of thick smoke, until eventually Jiren's face can be seen, but round his neck is shockingly a hand covered in a familiar set of rings. What? How? As Jiren then seemingly realizes exactly who is on top of him. And of course, it is none other than Ultra Vegito. Now finally in his final form that we have grown so used to seeing. As with one arm choking the god of destruction and sitting on top of the completely disabled Jiren, he looks down and says, You know, you're surprisingly sentimental when you want to be. That little speech almost brought a tear to my eye, Jiren. But don't worry, I'm back. Hope you didn't miss me too much, warrior. But Jiren, seeing Vegito in the flesh and untouched, can't help but continue to look completely stunned. As he grumbles back, You, how? I hit you. I made perfect contact. I saw it with my own eyes. I felt the coldness of your blood with my own fists. This makes no sense.
Not
But
his
Ultra
blood.
Vegito, hearing this
It
and not
seems.
breaking any eye contact, is quick to just respond. Wow, Jiren, you really have lost it, haven't you? I guess becoming one of those weak gods yourself has brought you down to their pathetic level too. You're now even blinder than Seadra was. Ultra Vegito then turns his head and points his finger to where the fist lands and continues. You hit something, Jiren. I don't doubt that. But it wasn't me. I'm not sure what's wrong with your aim, but you better have a look that way.
Yeah,
Are you
me
sure
too.
you're not on my side? Huh? And so Jiren turns his head to where Vegito was pointing, and as we watch, we see the remnants of Jiren's apparition finally begin to fade, revealing what's underneath. But to our shock, on the ground, almost as flat as a pancake imprinted into the surface of the planet, is a brutally damaged Belmod, now crushed and contorted into an awkward shape. The god, who can barely keep one eye open, just mutters, Vegito, you damn... immediately causing Jiren to freak out and yell at the sight of his beloved Belmod being inexplicably so tragically hurt by his own hand. He yells out, Lord Belmod, how? I would never! Leaving Vegito to sinisterly laugh at Jiren's horrified reaction as he explains, Didn't I tell you? I was levels above you still, Jiren. Your Ultra Instinct is still nothing but a beginner's toy compared to mine. I'll admit, I enjoyed our little dance, but I hate to break it to you, I wasn't even trying. And now that you're one of those scum destroyers, I have no more use in humoring you. The second you launched your pathetically slow attack, I grabbed that Belmod from behind like the clown he is, and switched him with myself. So fast, neither of you could even tell what happened until it was too late. Impossible! No one can move that fast. Surely not. This reveal, of course, taking even Jiren by surprise, as he can't even fathom the kind of ability Vegito would need to pull that off, until finally he asks, How is it possible to have improved this much? Son Goku, is this the bow that led you to become a murderer? Did becoming power drunk really give you enough reason to kill the deities that deserve none of this?
No.
Answer me. What
don't know the full
drove you
truth.
to take the lives of innocents? God killer! What? But hearing this for the first time, Vegito instantly pulls back and lessens his grip on Jiren in surprise, thinking to himself, What is this fool saying? He truly talks like the gods have done nothing.
Oh, they have.
But
He
he
just
does
doesn't
know.
know.
Doesn't he? Looking down Karma, Ultra Vegito then responds, Innocence. I know you're in pain, but how delirious do you need to be to call these monsters innocent after all they did? That angel did show you, right? You know what Belmod did. He's the murderer here, the destroyer of my entire home planet, my friends, my family, all gone in a blink of an eye. He led the gods, and all 11 of them were responsible, along with their spineless angels who agreed with them.
Yes.
Jiren, hearing this, now can't help but be confused. This is news to him and was never shown to him at all by Margarita. But he then remembers these are just words from Vegito, while Margarita showed him an impossibly detailed vision.
Maybe.
In anger, Jiren then responds, Nonsense! Save your lies, Son Goku. I have
Lies,
been
my
more
ass.
than just told the story of what you have done. I have experienced the bone-chilling sight of the gruesome things you've done in person. I saw how you even killed your own god of destruction in rebellion. How do you explain that, Son Goku?
Wow.
What? In rebellion?
That's not
Leaving
true.
Vegito puzzled as he tries to figure out how Jiren has got it so wrong. Continuing in his mind, something isn't right.
Yeah.
If he truly saw what had happened, he couldn't get details like this wrong. Don't tell me.
Yeah.
Damn witch Margarita actually lied to him to get him to fight me.
Yes.
Isn't there some sort of damn angel law against that?
Nope.
He's
Seems
hardly
so.
going to believe me over a literal angel. Unfortunately, it might be too late for him now. And with his thoughts steadied, Vegito does what he has no choice to now, as he raises his left arm in the air, displaying to us all the energy absorption device that is ready to do only one thing. As expected, Son Goku, your silence will always say 1,000 words. Now go ahead, take my energy and finish the job this time.
No, he won't.
To which Vegito immediately obliges, bringing his hand slowly towards Jiren's face, just whispering, Sorry, Jiren. I would have thought with you losing your own family and friends, you would have understood me. But I guess this is the only way. And just like that, Vegito places his palm on Jiren's forehead, as the Pride Trooper, and now God of Destruction, just closes his eyes, accepting his death at the hands of the one and only God Killer. This is... But suddenly, Jiren is instead flooded with visions of the true past 10 years that led up to this moment. From Goku and Vegeta initially being threatened by Beerus to fuse and battle, to their correct fusion this time via their angel-grade Potara to make a permanent Ultra Vegito. To then the tragic betrayal of the gods who went on to erase everything Goku and Vegeta ever loved, before ending in the horrific imprisonment of the duo for an entire decade of torture. It seems that Ultra Vegito 2 has now gained the angelic abilities to pass memories on. And as Vegito removes his hand finally from Jiren's forehead, for a moment there is a brief respite, as if Jiren himself still tries to process what he's just seen until suddenly... Vegito! Finally, for the first time, Jiren refers to Vegito by his real name, as now the truth of his story hits him, his motivations, and the evil and injustice of the very gods he had signed his life over to join. For a moment, Jiren with half-closed eyes looked sorrowfully at Vegito, beginning to feel a sense of empathy for his cause, before saying, "Enough. I've seen enough. Get off me." And Ultra Vegito, who doesn't even hesitate for a second, not suspecting Jiren of wanting any more violence, immediately gets up on his command, as Jiren looks at him from below, still in silence. And as Vegito stands tall, in a relaxed stance with his hands on his hips, Jiren, without fear, also slowly gets to his feet. Angling his head, Vegito then asks, "Sorry I scared you a little there, but I knew if I offered you a warrior's death, you'd let me grab you without issue. It was the only way I could show you what truly happened. I don't know what Margarita showed you, but I think it clearly left out some details. And now that you know the truth, tell me, Jiren, whose side are you on?"
Nescafe crema.
My God, why? Yes.
Jiren, who still continues to look down at the ground in self-deprecation, hasn't got an answer just yet, as he sighs and begins to think deeply until... "Give me one of those time rings, Vegito. Now." Suddenly then raising his right hand towards Vegito, gesturing for one of Vegito's 5 remaining time rings of all things, which of course takes the Saiyan by surprise. Now leaning his head forward in disbelief, Vegito questions, "What? One of my time rings? What for?
Yeah.
You got some cojones asking for these. You probably got to see exactly what I had to go through even to get them." But Jiren, with an unwaveringly serious look, just responds, "I don't care. I know of those rings and their power all too well. I've seen it in both Margarita's and your version of events. But as it stands, neither of you are to be trusted. I will use those rings to travel to the past and confirm things for myself." And for a moment, Vegito takes in this plan of Jiren's, trying to calculate just what the risks of giving one of the very gods he seeks to kill a time ring are. Before, with a smile, he closes his eyes, beginning to remove a ring, and says, "You're lucky I trust you, Jiren. After all, who could say no to that lovable little face of yours? Just don't try and run away. I'm pretty sure you know by now, I have a habit of hunting gods down, wherever they are." And with that said, Vegeta then tosses over the time ring he just removed, immediately being caught by the stone-cold-faced Jiren, who at this point still does not know who he must trust. Easily enough, Jiren then places on one of the time rings meant usually only for the Supreme Kais, as he looks at its glistening nature and comments, "So, with this, I will be able to move freely between the past and present. With this, I will finally find out the truth I have been seeking." And without a word more, and with perfect control, just as expected of a genius like Jiren, the god of destruction opens up a portal before him, before then walking without fear straight into it as Vegito yells, "Be careful out there! Come back soon." And just like that, Jiren vanishes, leaving Vegito alone with his thoughts as he waits for the Pride Trooper's eventual return. About 30 minutes pass, and the heavily damaged Belmod has now regained some strength and begins getting up, grumbling, however, "That damn Vegito! He'll pay once I heal up. That's if Jiren can't finish the job alone. Where even is he? That god killer's just been standing there alone for ages now.
Bruh.
But just as Belmod arduously gets onto one knee, a portal in front of him opens, and a familiar, bald-headed figure comes straight out. As Belmod, now with a beaming smile, albeit now missing some teeth, yells out, "Jiren! Finally, there you are. Come give me a hand, and we'll finish this together.
Bruh.
I think Topo's around here somewhere too." And Jiren, somewhat uncharacteristically, appears to be in just as much a positive mood as Belmod, as he smiles and walks over to his former god and good
Suspicious.
friend with his arm outreached, ready to help the clown up, leading to Belmod even commenting, "Haha, you seem like you're in a good mood. Haven't seen you like this in years." And Jiren, who agrees, still smiling, tries to explain his sudden mood change, referring to his time ring as he says,
I think that's
"Yes,
a
well,
bit
Lord
suspicious.
Belmod,
Don't you think, guys?
this little device here is something special.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing even. With this alone, I was able to travel any point in time, in search of the truth." But suddenly, the cheerful explanation is interrupted by an even greater change in emotion, as Jiren's face begins to look coldly and full of rage down at Belmod, as veins pulsate throughout his forehead, and he continues, "And as luck would have it, I just used this time ring to head back to when I was a child. The exact moment where I witnessed my entire village slaughtered. My friends, family, and master. You remember that night, don't you? Not too long after that, you just coincidentally found me. Right, Belmod?" And for some reason, as Belmod hears this, his own face begins to change to one of nervousness and fear, as if he has something to hide. As he trembles, he tries his best to reply,
Maybe there's something I'm missing.
"Oh, is that so, Jiren? But, Jiren, wait, not all is as it may, huh?" But instantly, the hand that was once
I can
reaching
hear the
out to
music.
pull Belmod up switches to a flat palm that faces a
Oh,
frightened to
oh,
death
oh.
Belmod, as Jiren then suddenly lets out, "Hakaid!"
Damn,
Roaring
boy!
the deadly words at the top of his lungs with so much conviction, it would not have been inconceivable for him to have been trying to erase the universe itself. "Jiren, I'm sorry." As not even being able to utter his final
Say your
sentence
story
in
for
the living
nothing.
world,
Biatch!
former god of destruction of Universe 11, is erased to complete
See a newer clown?
nothingness by Jiren the Grey. "What? Jiren, what are you doing?" Leaving ironically Ultra Vegito completely bamboozled by the turn of events.
Yeah.
Witnessing firsthand now what he had done so many times up till now. As finally, Jiren reveals with closed eyes,
I
"Belmod,
knew it.
you finally got what was coming to you. How I never suspected you as being the one who slaughtered my clan is something
I
I
knew
will
it.
never forgive myself for. But I have finally avenged you, my brothers. I have avenged you, warriors. And I have avenged you, master." But that was it for today's video, guys. If you made it this far, leave me a hashtag Belmod in the comments down below.
Yeah, rip that bozo. Hashtag rip Belmod bozo. I actually want a lot of those comments, guys. If you can do that, it will be pretty cool because that son of an ass deserves that. You cannot tell me otherwise. But guys, this is the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this. See you guys next time. This is Gogito, and also Make sure to check out ours channel, his channel will be in the link down below. So make sure to check it out. See you guys next time. I'm Gogito, sign out, my Z fans.